Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Jay with Faith Evolved, where I talk about all things spiritual, metaphysical, philosophical, and mental health. And this video is definitely unequivocally about mental health. And I decided that I'm finally going to be trying prescription medication. And specifically for mental health. And as you can probably tell already, I'm kind of having a little bit of brain fog. I've been noticing brain fog lately. I know my diet is certainly contributing to it. But more so I've been dealing with feeling numb, sometimes a little depressed, a little bit of anxiety, especially irritability, being cranky, moody, especially in the morning before I have my coffee. I think most of us can relate to that. But it's been a little frustrating. Another maybe somewhat TMI tidbit of information is low libido. In fact, pretty much no libido for that matter, which is, one of the many side effects, or I should say symptoms of low dopamine. So I decided that, I've tried psychiatric medication before. I've tried Buspirone, which is the generic for Buspar brand name. And I noticed that my tongue was twitching after about a month, so I decided to quit that. Didn't feel right on that either. I've tried phentermine, but not for mental health, more for weight loss, and that I did have some limited success on that. I think I microdosed escitalopram, or however you pronounce it, Effexor, I think, if I remember. It was like about 4 years ago when I was doing my dark night of the soul, and I was really suffering with horrible depression and anxiety. This is nothing like that. This is more of I've been trying a lot, doing all the spiritual practices, meditation and positive thinking, but I do feel like I need a little extra boost. And it took me a really long time to say, it's okay. I mean, it doesn't matter how spiritual you are. If you don't eat, you'll starve. If you don't drink, you'll die of thirst, dehydration. It's part of living on planet Earth. If you eat terribly, you'll gain weight. Proof's in the pudding, pun intended. And it's tempting to feel defeated. Like, damn, forgive my French. I've done a lot of work. I've done a lot of progress, and yet I'm still stuck here. It's tempting, but I know I've come a long way. I know where I was 4 years ago and how hellish my experience of living was. Just existing was torture. And I'm not there anymore. I do feel like my experience is blunted by just modern life. I've talked about this before. I think the biggest reason for mental health today is this modern world we live in, plus all the chemicals in the water and the food and the atmosphere. It's an onslaught of just overstimulation from all angles. And I've, fallen into it just like everybody else. I mean, you kind of have to. You can't avoid it living here in 2023 on planet Earth. And, I'm not ashamed that I'm going to try this medication and see if it helps me with, even if it's just a little bit. It's a low dose, taking 100 milligrams of Wellbutrin. Actually, technically, it's the generic bupropion. Yeah, bupropion. 100 milligrams, standard release. I know I'm taking it a little late in the day, but I'm going to start it today. Nervous, just like I was every other time I've tried any other medication. I guess my biggest fear is just feeling anxiety from it. But I had phentermine, and it works on somewhat of the same, what is it called in your brain? Receptors, I guess. It works on the norepinephrine, which I believe affects your, adrenaline. And it works on dopamine. And I've noticed that I've done a lot of, just eating, overeating sugary foods, and nicotine has been somewhat of an addiction lately. When I stopped taking it, I noticed it within, I would say, about an hour, maybe 2 hours. I definitely feel the withdrawals. And I'm just doing nicotine pouches right now. So I'm not smoking, and I vape occasionally, but, it does say this is an addictive chemical for a reason, So I'm more just nervous for the body effects, obviously. And I know enough spirituality and metaphysics to realize that I'm not a body and everything's going to be okay. It's all in my head. I create my own reality. I can choose not to suffer or choose to suffer. I get all that, but I still feel it. This is, we're living here on planet Earth and we're fully in the experience. And haven't quite remembered everything about myself at the higher level yet. So just being honest, I'm nervous. But, there is no death, right? And I know that it's just it's a chemical, but we are literally chemical beings and we can't escape that. So you can see I'm working through all this stuff in my head right now. And I think ultimately if I was at a better place mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, I wouldn't even care about these things. It wouldn't even matter. I'd feel that happiness, that peace, that joy that I've been searching for, And a thought that's occurred to me a lot lately is both and. It's okay to be spiritual and be physical. It's okay to want the spiritual things and want the physical things. It's okay to do your spiritual practices and take a medication if you need to, Like I said, if you don't eat, you starve. You don't drink, you'll die of dehydration. It's just part of living on Earth. And maybe you can get to the point where you're like Jesus and you can transcend all that stuff, but if you read the Urantia book, you notice that a lot of times he said it's not the Father's will that he should try to bypass the human experience, even unto death. So this is a human experience that I supposedly agreed to, although I don't remember. Many pre-birth experiences and near-death experiencers and out-of-body experiencers believe that, we chose to be here. It doesn't feel like it, but if that was part of the program that we had to get when we come here, then I guess we won't know till we get there. So anyways, I'm kind of rambling now, but I thank you guys for listening and being my subscribers. Over 750 now, so thank you so much. And coming in on 1,000, even though I think YouTube has changed their guidelines that you don't need to have 1,000 anymore. I think you need to have 500 with a certain amount of shorts. So I'll probably do some shorts soon, get some more content, because a lot of times I feel like I have something good to share, but it's only going to be like 30 seconds or a minute. Well, the shorts are perfect for that, right? So hopefully you'll be seeing more of me, especially if this medication kicks in and I'm not so lazy and not so numb and brain fogged and kind of unmotivated. That's really the biggest thing, is the just feeling like meh, whatever, blah, disassociation, low dopamine. That's really where I'm at currently in life. And I'm not suffering. It's just I want to see if I can just get a little extra boost. That's what I told my psychiatrist. I just want a little extra boost. I'm not feeling like hurting myself or somebody else or all the questions they ask you. I'm not depressed. Not like super depressed. It's just a mild, blunting of emotions and feelings, and especially desires. That's the most frustrating thing I would say about this whole condition, is just feeling numb. And it extends to all sensory areas, like I said before, including libido. So, and they say this medication can help me with, getting off nicotine, even losing weight, because it, my guess is when you have the right level of dopamine in your brain, it helps you with not seeking those dopamine hits. So I gotta shave. Anywho, thanks for watching. God bless. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, like the video, share on social media, hit the notification bell anytime you want to be notified when I drop some new videos. Peace. Oh, before I forget, if you made it to this far to the end, you get to see me take my very first, my very first dose. This is it. Wellbutrin generic Buspirone. Here we go. Lowest dose, 100 milligrams. Doing this for science. Yeah, right. I'm doing this for experience, and hopefully a good one. I'll follow up with you guys 1 week, maybe 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, just to show you my progress and where I'm at and how I'm doing. And hopefully the side effects are low. All right. Goodbye for real this time. God bless.